Morning all. I hope you did well on the highest common factor exercise. We're going to look at lowest common multiples now, and lowest common multiples are essentially the opposite of highest common factor. So the lowest common multiple is the lowest number which goes into all members of a group's times table. So we're going to have a look at an example. So find the lowest common multiple of 5 and 6 is asking us what is the smallest number which is in both the 5 and the 6 times table. So we're just going to quickly write out the first bits of the 5 times table. So in my 5 times table we're going to start with 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 and so on. We might need to extend it more, we'll have a look in a second. The 6 times table then is going to be 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, etc. And we should see that the first number that we come to, which is in both times tables, is this one here. So 30 is in both times tables, and this is a concept which is going to become really essential when we start looking at the units on fractions, when we look at proportion, when we look at ratio. So there's my lowest common multiple of 30. Now, in quite a lot of cases, you can find the lowest common multiple just by multiplying those two together. That's the highest possible value that the lowest common multiple could be, but it's not always true. So here, 5 times 6 gave us 30. Here, if we think about what 4 times 10 would have been, it would be 40. Is that going to be the lowest common multiple? Well, let's have a check. I don't think it is. We can have a look at why in a second. So I look at my 4 times table, which is going to be 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, ... And I look at my 10 times table, which is 10, 20, 30, 40, ... So I could have extended this up to 40. I didn't need to, because we see that actually beforehand I come to a lowest common multiple, which is 20. Now, the reason why here the lowest common multiple is given by 5 times 6, which is 30, but that doesn't work here. 4 times 10 is 40 and the LCM is 20. The reason why it's different in the second example is because these two had a common factor of 2. These two, the highest common factor was 1. You couldn't divide them both by each other. So there's a relationship here between the lowest common multiple and the highest common factor. So let's have a guess at what's going to happen here. The highest common factor between these three numbers is going to be 1, so our guess might be that the lowest common multiple of all of them is going to be what we get when we times them together. 2 times 3 is 6, times by 5 is 30. Can we find a lowest common multiple which is less than 30? Well, let's just have a quick go. So I'm going to write out my 2 times table, giving myself plenty of space because I think I might need to go up to 30. Gives me 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, all the way up to 30. Okay, so I've gone up to 30 there. Got a 3 here. It's going to give me 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, and 30. And the last one is 5. Gives me 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So let's just have a quick check. Well, it's going to be easiest to use this list of numbers because this is the smallest list of numbers. 5 isn't in the 2 times table. 10 is in the 2 times table but is not in the 3 times table. 15 won't be in the 2 times table. 20 is in the 2 times table up here but isn't in the 3 times table. 25 won't be in the 2 times table. 30 is both in the 2 times table and in the 3 times table and in the 5 times table. So exactly as we predicted, here the lowest common multiple is just given by multiplying those 3 numbers together. Okay, going to give you a second just to write down those examples for me. Okay, and now I'd like you to have a go at these 6 questions, please, for me. Just pause the video while you write those down, and then we can work through solutions in a second. Okay, so here are our solutions. So for the first example is nice and straightforward. Because these don't have any common factor apart from 1, the lowest common multiple is just what you get from multiplying those two together, and you could have done that by writing out the full times table. For the second one, they do have a common factor, which was 2. So if you wrote out the times tables, you would have seen it's 24. If you'd multiplied them together, you'd have got 48, which is a common multiple, but it's not the lowest common multiple, which is what you were asked for. So 24 is your answer. Here you should have got 120. You can do that by just going up in the 40 times table to see when you get the first number, which was divisible by 15. Going up in your 28 times table, the first number, which is divisible by 20, is going to be 140. Going up in my 15 times table, so I go 15, 30, well that's divisible by 10, unfortunately it's not divisible by 12, so I could carry on. 45, 60, 60 is divisible by all 3. And the last one, I go up in my 9 times table, 9, 18, 27, 36, 45. 45 would be divisible by both 9 and 5, but it's not divisible by 6, so I'm going to have to carry on. Double it, it takes me up to 90, so the lowest common multiple there is 90. Can you give yourself a mark, please, out of 6? Just pause the video there. And for those of you who had any difficulty with it, please can you take a look at Hegarty clip number 34. Alright, well done.